Okay, we're back, and today we're going to be playing Ludwig, a 1200 rated robot on chess.com. He is apparently a streamer, a famous streamer. He's wearing a pink sweatshirt. I'm wearing like a cardigan over a t shirt, which, if you're an adult, a cardigan is like a fancy sweatshirt. He's wearing, what like a child would wear. So I am better dressed, and we will play as black because people send mean comments when I play as white, saying it is too easy if I'm playing as white. But I'm rated like 2000 right now, and you're rated like 400, so why don't you shut up, okay? E4, we'll play E5. I had a pretty good morning. I went to the bodega, which is like a corner store if you're not familiar with New York City. Went and picked up some chocolate milk, and when I was there, there was like a little kid with his mom, and the little kid saw me buying chocolate milk, and he asked his mom for chocolate milk, and she said no. And then he was like, he has chocolate milk, and he pointed at me, and I was like, I'm an adult. I can drink chocolate milk whenever I want. And then the mom got mad. She's like, don't talk to my son. And I was like, I'm an adult. I can talk to whoever I want, lady. And then we started to get into like kind of an argument, which if you're in New York City, that's a pretty good way to wake yourself up. So, started the day. He plays the Italian game. It's pretty normal, fun opening. A lot of people learn it as their first opening for white. Um, yeah, and then I bought like two or three more chocolate milks to like make that kid feel bad, and then I drank like one or two of them. I drank one of them in front of them, and then I started drinking the second one, but then my stomach was like, don't drink like three chocolate milks in 45 seconds. So I'm pretty hopped up on sugar and anger. Um, so we'll play a Joko piano, and he plays the Evans Gambit. Okay, so this is actually a pretty fun opening from the white side. There's a famous game. Bobby Fischer beat Ruben Fine in like 17 moves, which I'll link down below. It's a pretty good primer to see if you are interested in the Evans Gambit. Bobby Fischer, if you are familiar with chess, he's like the world champion anti-Semite guy. Well, he's former chess world champion and an anti-Semite. He's not the world champion of anti-Semitism because that's not a thing. And I guess we'll take the Evans Gambit. I think the world champion of anti-Semitism would be like Hitler or something. So, yeah, probably gonna edit that comment out. I mean, it's not a bad comment. He is one of the worst people. Hitler, definitely like top 5, top 10 worst Nazis out there. If I had to make a list of all the Nazis, he would definitely be up there and one of my least favorite Nazis. Um, I think that covers, what I said, so I don't have to edit that out of the video now. So when you play these robots on chess.com, like, it's good to know the main line. You should always play the main line, learn the main line first. But I find that if you play like fun, weird sidelines, they have a meltdown and they don't know what to do. So we're gonna play the Stoneware, which is a move where you put this bishop, you block in this pawn with this bishop, and it looks weird. It looks like black is cramping themselves in trouble, but they're actually fine. And just to keep going with that, the main move in this position is knight f6 in the Stoneware, but we're going to play pawn takes and see what Ludwig does. And he responds with queen d2, which is not right. So now we're going to get in knight f6, and we're going to rush to castle. And he plays queen d3, which is psychotic, almost as psychotic as yelling at a child over chocolate milk at 9 in the morning. It's weird because he just played queen d2, and then he wants to play queen d3. Why not just play queen d3 right away? I should actually highlight a bunch of stuff and draw some arrows for the castle for the thumbnail of the video. And I promise I will not talk about Nazis anymore. I won't talk about insulting children. That's enough highlights. But it's actually, I think that's a pretty bad move, taking back. Like, he has a big center, but I get in this, not bad arrow, I get in this check, which I'm gonna like free up my position now. And in these types of positions as black, and what I mean by these types of positions are, I'm not gonna tell you what I mean, so you figure it out. You know, you gotta learn stuff too on your own. I can't teach you everything. Is A lot of times it's good, the move is always d5 to just sort of break open the center. So we're going to play d5. If he takes, we take back. Oh, and he castles. And if you want to pause your video and figure out why that's a bad move, he leaves this, I think the word's en prise or whatever French chess people say. So we're going to take that. We're up 3 points of material now, and we're on our way to winning, hopefully. And we're up material, so we want to do a trade. And or that's the clumsiest way I could say that. I'm like real hopped up on sugar right now from like chugging chocolate milk in front of that kid to rub it in his mom's face. That was a lot of my weekly budget though. I spent like $12 on chocolate milk this morning. When you're up material, usually it's good to trade. I also want to trade this because I'll wreck the pawn structure in front of his king, and it'll make an attack easier later. Oh, okay, so he just ignores that. So now we're up 6 to 7 points of material. Cool, so we're crushing Ludwig. How long have we been playing? 7 minutes? Wow. Absolutely destroying this guy. Yeah. Trying to think what the best move would be here. Let's think. I mean, I could even just, let's say, takes, give a piece back to simplify, but that's actually not like good chess for you guys. You should learn how to like win as fast as possible in the most accurate way as possible, and not insult children. I mean, that's a fun thing to do also, is to if you're playing a game over the board against a kid, just bring a bunch of candy and shiny objects and eat the candy in front of the kid, make them real jealous, play with like the yo-yo or whatever, and it'll really throw them off their game. So it's a pro tip for you guys. When you're playing children, if you don't want to lose to them, distract them. Yeah, so I'm actually gonna, I might just try and sack a piece back. So there, takes, that would be fine. I just want to block this pawn from getting any traction here. Cool. And then let's start remaneuvering. This isn't really pointing at anything. I want it pointed maybe at the king side, so let's do that. Okay, so he is threatening, what's he threatening? He's threatening this pawn. So if I ignore it, if he takes and I go there, then his only move is to go there. Can I trap that somehow? There, no, he's getting away. A lot of times this will be like some type of trap. I don't think I really need to calculate it. I'm just honestly trying to talk a little bit more about chess and not about like Nazis or yelling at people, because I think that's bad for the video. Okay, let's focus here. I know rook b8 is probably not the best move, because that kind of drops this piece too. So I don't really have a way to like protect that though, do I? I guess something like that would protect twice, but then drop this pawn. Actually kind of got me in like a little bit of a bind, but we're up 7 points of material, So maybe I should just make like a prudent move, you know? Something like that would be cool. Or sacking that. And then a check. Does that get anything? I'm like actually so close to a Greek gift sacrifice on h2. Okay, let's actually think about that, and then we can just sack this pawn if need be. Takes, if he takes, this knight is actually covering that square, so I should throw in this check first. And then I guess he might block with that. That might not work. Okay. So if the knight was there, then I think we'd have a Greek gift sacrifice. So yeah. How do I not drop this piece? Because that is not a great move because he just goes there. So I have to go there. Drops this pawn. It's kind of an annoying situation. Okay, we're just gonna drop the pawn and readjust. Oh. It doesn't take it. Okay, cool. Now do we have anything here? Check. He just goes back. Now we need more pieces over there. I'll look at that in the analysis real fast, that position, because I think I just got myself into a little bit of trouble. That might have actually been the best move. Protects that twice. That might be me being smart. Okay. Yeah, and I had these tabs open too. I'll close this one. Every cactus I've owned has died, and I've been trying to make it not die. And then I had like another tab open. I was trying to figure out if any of the Muppets owned a gun. Like in the canon of the Muppets, do any of them own a gun? But you'd think it's Kermit, because usually it's like nice people who end up. Alright, never mind. Let me fix my microphone for a sec. I wasn't doing a good job of explaining the thought process out loud. I think I just need to play rook b8 here. It's not pretty, but I think it's an okay move, so let's do it. And let's keep protecting, keep being lame. That's like a move I don't want to make, but okay. And now that this is protected, this is protected by this, I am free to move this, and we can try and get, you know, our Greek gift going in a little bit. Cool. Let's, he's kind of like in a tough spot. He doesn't know what to do. I don't want to do a queen trade, even though I'm up. I mean, I do. I'm up 7 points of material, but I want to try and end this a little faster so I can edit out those comments I made. So let's throw this rook on the file. Nice. And then I just feel like I'm so close to a sacrifice, right? Like, take there, check. He has to go back. It's just like I saw a video of the Muppets where Mr. Hooper was teaching the alphabet, and he said G is for gun, with like a gun, and I'm like, I don't know if I would teach kids that, you know? But I guess I'm teaching kids on the internet. Never mind. So like a good tip for you guys, which I'm going to start throwing all of my pieces at his king side now, is if I can get like 3 or 4 pieces around his king, I'll probably checkmate him. So let's start throwing everything at him. I think this threatens checkmate, right? That was a really bad sequence where I didn't explain why I was sacrificing anything. So I'll try and go back and edit that out. So that threatens checkmate because this rook is covering everything. So I think if I move my knight here, he needs to sacrifice the queen, doesn't he? I guess he can try and do something else. Yeah, that's true. So check. Alright, do we have a checkmate here? No, I can't do this yet because I need this freed up. So I want to get this knight out of the way on this attack to have the bishop covering for checkmate. So let's think about this. Check. If he moves here, I have checkmate. Check. I think he would have to take then. And then I have check, which it's, sorry, check. He has to take. And then I have check. He has to move here. And then I have checkmate. So I think I have forced checkmate. Check there. Check there. That's checkmate in 3. And then if check there, that's checkmate in 2. Okay. So we're going to go for it. Well, bam. Okay. And yeah, we played a pretty good game. I'll throw up the analysis for a second. While that happens, I will close this tab that I had open about asking if any of the Muppets owned a gun. I don't think I need to. That's pretty like self-explanatory. I don't need to go into that. And then what's the position that I just like bumbled around in? What is the best move here? It says A6. And then what happens if takes? How do I trap? Oh, A7 is the trap. Okay. I was thinking about that, but that traps the queen. So that would have been a faster way to do that. Okay. So that answers my question. Yeah, I got to do some heavy editing in this video. Jesus